Hey there. I hope you're all doing well. And I said the other day that I was going to try to give myself a break from the online left drama going on. And it seems like every day something new happens. And I was depressed with the news that I got initially. And the unfortunate part is what Fiorella Isabel went through, because what she went through was actually truthful. But let me explain. I guess begin at the beginning. I'm guessing about a month ago, Aaron Matei um, name came up on the Young Turks, whereby Shank Ugert and Aaron Matei are having they're not exactly on best terms at the moment. And he and Anna Kasparian let their emotions get the best of them. And so, Anna Kasparian had a meltdown, and basically told Aaron Matei to fuck off and all of that, and giving the finger. I mean, it was just unprofessional. It's ugly, and it's very disappointing because I never thought that I would have a bad opinion of Kasparian or Shank Uger, but times are changing, and just sometimes sometimes what might be perceived as good faith actors may end up being a wolf in sheep clothing. And the thing about it is that and I said this before, the Young Turks have gone downhill. I mean, have gone downhill since noticeably since election night 2016, when they went into a meltdown. And again, Trump, any Republican occupying the White House sucks. But is he worse than any other Republican in there? I mean, really, George W. Bush was the worst president we ever had, and I will go to my grave knowing the fact that George W. Bush was the very worst that we've ever had in the White House. He may have been socially more moderate than Donald Trump in some ways, but that's not exactly true. In some ways, he wasn't. His demeanor was more moderate. On policy matters, he was probably more right wing. But then Donald Trump tried to, after 2016, when he tried to be a different Republican, and he went into the culture war shit and became again another cliche, obnoxious Republican president. So, anyway, they went into their meltdown, and they went to their conspiracies about Russiagate and all this, and they became obsessed with Russia the way that MSNBC's obsessed about Russia, and cliche corporate Democrats and fake liberals, fake progressives are obsessed about Russia, and it is par for the course. And that ugly display on the Young Turks (TYT) was was basically what happened. Well, I mean, and of course, Jimmy Dore used to be with the Young Turks, and apparently Russiagate was part of the reason why he left the Young Turks. So, uh, you know, Aaron Matei was on the Jimmy Dore show, and apparently he decided to talk about dis- Discord, or I don't know if it was on Twitter. It was some kind of instant message where Anna Kasparian basically, well, some say blackmail, some say threaten, and I think blackmail. There's a fine line between blackmailing and threatening people, and I think that both terms apply for what she did in terms of Jimmy Dore. So Jimmy Dore came clean about an incident with Anna Kasparian where he really was apologetic for making a crude remark about her wearing a short skirt and showing the thong, and really not leaving anything up to the imagination. And yeah, as I said, I mean, yeah, it wouldn't have bothered me if Anna Kasparian, me as well. But I'm not trying to be demeaning for women. But what I'm trying to say is that Jimmy Dore made a harmless comment about a nice new skirt, and she was embarrassed, and he apologized to her, and the incident was forgotten. But now she decided to go and do what a lot of fake ass liberals do, and go and weaponize something as something as sensitive as sexual harassment, and make a big issue out of it, and make it bigger than it's worth. So when actual sexual harassment takes place against women, this sort of mindset, um, people will just kind of be like, whatever, or what have you. And it's a sad situation when that happens. So anyway, so Hank Ugart and Anna Kasparian, went full PC, full SJW, full virtual signaling, because they had no argument when it came to things like with regard to Russia, or with regard to Aaron Mate's reporting on Syria and things like that. But here's the thing: when Jimmy Dore had Max Blumenthal from the gray zone up there, and brought that issue out about the allegations, and said, oh, she was dressed inappropriately. I would agree with Max Blumenthal's initial reaction, and his response, essentially, that she can dress any way she damn well pleases, and there's nothing wrong with her dressing, in a short skirt, in a thong, or what have you. And this and they don't care about that sort of thing one way or the other at the gray zone. It was actually a pretty good response and all of that. So I do think that Jimmy Dore wanted to do a dig on her, and that was kind of dickish on his part. I mean, I don't blame him for defending himself, and I believe Jimmy Dore more than I do Anna Kasparian in that regard. And then, of course, just throwing Kyle Kulinski into this situation, and Kyle Kulinski, basically jeopardized his friendship with the Young Turks, Shank Ugart, and Anna Kasparian, and they're technically his boss and his friend Jimmy Dore. And the thing about it is, it's sad because ideologically, I do think that Kyle Kulinski is more aligned with Jimmy Dore, and as far as tactics are concerned and everything, whereas the Young Turks itself wants to play it safe, and, playing it safe will not give us Medicare for all. I said this before, and I'll say it again. You could do force the vote, and you may or may not get Medicare for all. But you know what? We didn't do force the vote, and we didn't get Medicare for all. We didn't get Medicare for all. We didn't get a public option. We didn't get lowering Medicare age down to 60 or 55 or 50 for that matter. And if force the vote would have had that happening, where there would have been a public option, or Medicare would have been expanded to another age group, I would have called it a victory. But thing about it is that the Tea Party Republicans, they went and made John Boehner's life a living hell, and they, well, of course, made Obama's life a living hell, and they kind of got what they wanted. I mean, not 100%, but progressives like the Squad, they're afraid to do that. And then you got corporate Democrats like Joe Manchin and Kirsten Sinema basically using their leverage, and they're kind of using a default force of vote to get the shit that they want, and the shit that they want is actually fucking bad news. But anyway, just the tactics and all of that. If I had to make a comparison, a forced vote. In a weird way, I'm going to make a comparison to British politics from the 1980s, and I think that's what's happening is that the TYT camp is acting like the mainstream British Labour Party under Neil Kinnock, and that Jimmy Dore and people that orbits around Jimmy Dore with the force of vote, they're more along the lines acting like labor militant. And if you don't know what labor militant is, labor militant was an organization in Great Britain in the 1980s that were trying to push the Labor Party toward the left. In 1980, when Michael Foot stepped down, it was a very radical left wing platform, and the British Labour Party started to moderate. I mean, they were still not as bad as it was under Tony Blair, but what they were doing, they were trying to become more centrist. And we seen what happened with the Democrats in the 1990s with that particular dog shit approach. And while I'm not a Trotskyist in the slightest, what have you, what labor militant did in hindsight, I think it was something worth doing. And I don't know if I would have been labor militant if I would have been a British person in the 1980s, but I certainly would have been very sympathetic with their goals of pushing labor back toward the left. And and the same thing here on the media camp. TYT's playing the role of Neil Kinnock, and the Jimmy Dores of the world. I would say the Kyle Kulinskis of the world, and I would say that you know um, Nico House. I would say Frank's analysis. I would say Convo Couch. All these folks are playing the role of labor militant, where I'm saying that they're the good guys and good gals. Whereas the Sam Cedars and the TYT and people like that, they're playing the role of Neil Kinnock in that regard. At least they ain't playing the role of. At least they're not playing the role of Tony Blair. Um, thank goodness for small miracles. Um, so I'm making an analogy, and it's probably a sloppy analogy, but let me get to the meat and potatoes of this. A few days ago, I was watching Convo Couch, and and Fiorella Isabel was mentioning an incident where she had what was it an instant Instagram um, messenger from supposedly Kyle Kulinski, or what appeared to be Kyle Kulinski at the time, asking for nude photos of Fiorella Isabel, and she and I mean, I watch a Convo Couch, and some of my left leaning friends are divided. Some people don't like Convo Couch. They're like, oh, they're conspiracy theorists or whatever. And there's been some allegations about Convo Couch. I don't see the fascism that they accuse Convo Couch of being guilty of, unless people think that just because you don't hate a conservative, you're a conservative neighbor or what have you, that doesn't make you doesn't make you a fascist or a right winger. If that was the case, I mean, if I were to, hate everybody who was a Trump voter, I mean, my goodness, I mean that's ridiculous. That's every bit as ridiculous as a Republican hate on anybody that vote for the Democratic Party. You know, um, e- equally stupid. And that kind of partisan crap. But anyhow, it looked like it did appear when watching the video, and I'm going to put the link down. I'm going to put the link down from the the initial one that she talked about it, and then the response from I guess it was yesterday. I'm going to put those two links down in a few minutes. But apparently, it looked like wow. It looked like Kyle Kulinski was some kind of a perv and everything, and I'm really deeply disappointed because I mean, as I said, I'm a big Kyle Kulinski fan myself, and with due respect to Fiorella Isabel, I know she's not a fan, and that's okay. That's okay. Not everybody can agree on everything, and I mean, I love listening to Fiorella Isabel. I mean, I love listening to her. I love listening to her commentaries and everything. And Craig Jardula, enjoy listening to him as well and all that. So, I mean, I'm a fan of Kyle Kulinski. I'm also a fan of Convo Couch. And and any of y'all mad at me for being a fan of either or both, well, just deal with it. We all we're all guided by our own individual reality. But anyway, let me just get to what I was saying. As it turned out, there was a fake account created, and it looked like it was a fake account, and I'm relieved in a way because I would have been really disappointed with Kyle Kulinski over this crap if he was guilty of this. And I mean, and I am not a pearl collector. I am not or anything like that. I mean, like, with the Young Turks doing their who's got the camel toe and popping out dirty jokes here and there, what have you, yeah, okay, yeah, that's real leftism there. This self-righteous, politically correct, got to monitor every damn word you say attitude that exists on the left today, and the like modern day TYT, where everybody cancel cultures everybody out. I mean, this is the kind of thing that harms the left in the long run, but it's also like this. It's also a cue that the modern day left have borrowed from the Christian right in the 1980s and the 1990s, because the social conservative movement within the Republican Party has been so fucking successful, unfortunately, in their campaign. Yeah, I know they lost the culture war when it comes to gay marriage and things like that, but they gained much. There was a lot of corporatism that the Christian right favor, and they and their if there was ever a phrase, Karl Marx's phrase, opiate of the masses. Well, Pat Robertson, Jerry Falwell, John Hagee, all those fuckers. That is really bad opiate, if you ask me. But anyhow, my point I'm trying to make is that this whole idea of being so judgmental was part of what made the Christian right for so many damn fucking years. And it seemed like a lot of the left has kind of borrowed that approach. And this is why we all look like a bunch of fucking pearl clutchers, and we look like we don't want to have fun and all of that. Now, I mean, I do not believe in offending anyone unless they deserve it. Marjorie Taylor Greene. I look at her, I want to laugh at her face all day long. Um, you know, I just, I want to laugh at her. I want to make fun of her. I want to make her feel fucking bad. Same thing with fucking Louis Gohmert of Texas. And I'm not a partisan hack. I wanted to hurt Nancy Pelosi's damn feelings with forced to vote. I want to know and make sure that Joe meant to have a shitty day. So I am not a partisan hack. I want basic good things to happen here in the United States. We are behind when it comes to health care for all. We're behind with the low level of unionization. And the United States seems to know nothing other than let's go and bomb another country, and let's go and interfere in the Middle East, for the sake of just doing it, to appease who? The military industrial complex, the best contractors, the corporate shills in both parties, and the religious right who sees the Middle East as some kind of biblical battle to fight or something like that. I mean, this is what we are having to deal with here in the United States, and this is why the United States is so ass backwards. And this is why I have this channel, because I want to see this all this shit go into reverse. And so, getting back to what I was saying about these camps fighting amongst themselves on the online left, and maybe I'm wishy-washy. I listen to I listen the YouTube channels I listen to. I watch everything from David Packman all the way to Frank Analysis, and I agree and disagree with most of these people from across the online left spectrum, and it's okay. It's okay. I mean, there's a few people on the online left I'm not the biggest fan of. Nominiki Kantz, I'm not a fan of hers. And I, things about I have to be in the right mood to listen to someone like Bosch because he pontificates so damn much. So I mean, I'm not sitting there saying, "Oh, I like every single one." There are people I like, and there are people I don't like, and there are people I'm kind of take it or leave it. Take it or leave it. Sam Cedar, I can take it or leave it. I respect him. He's cerebral. Love the fact that he humiliated the shit out of Steven Crowder, but when it comes to the online level and what have you, with all these camps, I want to identify with the camp that's not just going to be hostile toward the Republican Party, but not wanting to also play patty cake with the corporate Democrats and wanting to hold the squad's feet to the fire. But I'm not just resigned to, I'm just not committed to building the Democratic Party. It may take this People's Party to be the vehicle it's going to take, or the Green Party or something. I don't care how we get there. I mean, if I did, we would have a fucking independent Labor Party, or I'll go hocus pocus and bring back the Socialist Party of America from prior to 1973 back together, which means that I would take the Socialist Party USA, Democratic Socialists of America, the Social Democrats USA, and the newly forming Social Democratic and Labor Party of America, and mesh them all back, and it will be the old Socialist Party of America that I identify with, ideologically speaking. But anyway, I digress. But with regard to Fiorella Isabel, I'm sorry for what she went through with whoever that turd was that impersonated Kyle Kulinski. You shouldn't have to go through that. But let me tell you, you handle it so much better than someone like Anna Kasparian. Because you know, I don't take Anna Kasparian seriously, but I do respect Fiorella Isabel, and I know there are people that don't. But as I said, I like I love people that protect freedom of speech, and I love people that argues from a libertarian left perspective, which the left seems to be lacking these days. And I mean, I'm not an economic libertarian, but I am definitely a libertarian leftist on social issues, free speech, right to privacy, free press, and everything like that. And and when it comes to things like Julian Assange, and comes to issues like Julian Assange and Snowden, um, I know which side I'm on, because I am a very, very yeah, I am a socialist when it comes to economics, but when it comes to individual issues and personal freedoms not related to the economy, I am probably as libertarian as it comes in that regard. Left libertarian, not capitalist libertarian, but socially on the left libertarian. Um, like what she went ahead and said about a year ago. Um, Medicare for all, in all other aspects of your life, just fuck off government. I'm paraphrasing what she said, but you get what I'm saying. Okay, if you like what you heard, press like and comment. Um, if you don't like, I'll comment anyway. We'll have a conversation. Feel free to share the content on this channel. As a First Amendment absolutist, it's my duty to inform you to go and create your own platform and utilize it, because we're the muckrakers of our time. Um, Feel free to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you're kept up to date with hard-hitting social democratic commentary by yours truly, Americans of Democracy. And until next time, from the bottom of my heart, class struggle yesterday, class struggle today, class struggle tomorrow, and class struggle until we achieve full economic and social justice in our time. Peace.